Welcome everyone. Today, we're diving into IAM user access in AWS. First, IAM is like the security guard of AWS. It controls who gets in and what they can do. Next, we create an IAM user, ensuring they have the right permissions. Then we enable console access so they can actually log in. And finally, security matters. We'll talk about MFA because let's be honest, passwords alone are like using a paper lock on a steel door. I'm Amelia James, a technology expert with 13 plus years of experience designing and delivering human resource management systems that actually work for people. I specialize in building scalable integrated HR platforms that streamline processes, enhance employee experience, and give leadership real-time, actionable insights. Alright, let's start with IAM, Identity and Access Management. Think of IAM as the bouncer at a club, deciding who gets in and what they can do. It helps manage users and their permissions, ensuring security across AWS. Some users get VIP access, while others just get to peek inside. By setting roles and permissions, we make sure no one accidentally deletes the entire infrastructure, because that would be a very bad day. Now let's talk about user access. IAM users don't automatically get access to everything. They need permissions. These permissions come from policies, which are like rule books for what users can and cannot do. To make life easier, we group users together, because managing 100 individual users is like herding cats. And finally, roles help restrict access, ensuring that only the right people have the right permissions. No accidental oops, I deleted production moments. Creating an IAM user is easy. First, head to the IAM dashboard, your control center for user management. Click Add User and fill in the details. Then decide how they'll access AWS, via the console or programmatically. Finally, set their permissions carefully. Give them just enough access to do their job, but not enough to accidentally launch a rocket, unless that's their actual job. Permissions are the key to IAM security. AWS managed policies are great for common tasks, but sometimes you need custom policies for specific needs. Attach these policies to users or groups to simplify management. And remember, always follow the principle of least privilege. Giving users too much access is like handing over the keys to your house and hoping they don't redecorate. IAM policies are the rulebooks of AWS. They define what users can and cannot do using JSON format. Yes, another reason to love curly brackets. Attach policies to users, groups, or roles to keep things organized. And always test policies before deploying them, because finding out someone has too much access after they've deleted half your infrastructure is not ideal. To enable console access, first set up a password, because users need a way to log in. Then provide them with their credentials. If they only need temporary access, IAM roles are a great option. And don't forget to monitor login activity, because if someone logs in from Antarctica and you don't have an office there, something's fishy. Passwords are the first line of defense, so make them strong. Require complexity. No password 123 nonsense. Set expiration periods so users update them regularly. Enforce password history so they don't reuse old ones. And educate users, because if their password is AWS rocks, hackers will agree. MFA is like having a second lock on your door. Users need a second authentication factor, something they have like a phone app or SMS code. Use tools like Google Authenticator for added security. And for sensitive accounts, make MFA mandatory, because relying on just a password is like locking your front door but leaving the windows wide open. Alright folks, let's start at the beginning. First, head over to IAM in the AWS console, like finding the front door to a digital fortress. Then, create a new user with the right permissions. Think of it like issuing an exclusive VIP pass. Next, generate and securely store login credentials. Remember, sticky notes on your monitor aren't secure storage. Finally, do a quick verification to ensure access is smooth before moving forward. Time for some hands-on testing. Grab those credentials and attempt logging in, like checking if your house keys work before leaving home. Once in, verify the user's assigned permissions. We don't want someone meant to water the plants suddenly accessing nuclear launch codes. Don't forget to check authentication settings like MFA. If anything goes wrong, troubleshooting comes into play, like solving the mystery of why is my password rejected when I know it's correct. Access issues are frustrating but manageable. First, identify authentication failures, like those times when your login refuses to acknowledge your existence. Next, check permission configurations. Sometimes the tiniest typo can cause chaos. Review user role assignments. Are they correctly designated? A developer shouldn't be locked out like a tourist without a visa. Finally, dig into AWS logs for insights. Think of it like reviewing security footage to catch an intruder. To keep IAM access secure, follow best practices. First, enforce the least privilege principle, just like not handing out unlimited keys to your office. Next, use strong passwords and enable MFA. A password like 1234 is basically rolling out the red carpet for hackers. Regular audits help spot inconsistencies. And remember, rotating credentials is key, because using the same password for years is like leaving your front door wide open. Please do like, share, and subscribe to our channel. For more information, contact us.